Turkish elections, Western illusions. Win or lose, Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan's legacy will endure. Erdogan. Turkey's elections on May 14th, that's in 5 days, are attracting significant international attention, with the major media outlets dubbing them the most important elections of 2023. Yeah, it's a pretty big deal. Many in the West seem to hope the Turks will finally replace Erdogan and his Justice and Development Party with a more accommodating liberal leadership that will bring about a profound change in the country's domestic and international policies. This may be wishful thinking. Even if Erdogan is voted out, and that's a big if, his legacy is bound to endure. In the West, the Turkish president has been described as the other Putin, a populist, divisive autocrat determined to pursue his dream of empire. He's been criticized for presiding over a pervasive system of nepotism, a weak economy, high inflation, and currency devaluation. By contrast, his main rival and opposition candidate, Kemal Kılıçdaroğlu, is portrayed as a consensual, humble, and responsible leader who will restore democracy and mend relations with the West if he wins. Predictably, such... Guys, Turkey has been losing its shit lately. Turkey was, like, firing on Kurdish positions with American soldiers in the area. Turkey was, like, blocking a NATO entrance because, like, Sweden was... Like, there was a group in Sweden that was, like, being sympathetic to Kurdish refugees or something. They have gone fucking crazy. I wish we'd boot them out of NATO. Most national polls are predicting a close race, with Erdogan trailing behind Kılıçdaroğlu by a few percentage points, but the pollsters are generally political and unreliable. And many of the voters seem to be driven more by their distaste for Erdogan than love for Kılıçdaroğlu. Right. Is this Kılıçdaroğlu a guy based? Well, he's better than Erdogan. It's just like, man, hold on. Do you think there will be any election tampering? I don't know, probably. Opinion. Without Erdogan, Turkey's economy could help the West balance... there's so much information on this. I haven't been following. Is Erdogan the lesser or greater of two bad choices? He's the worst. He's the worst of the two. He's worse than the other guy. Yeah, major Hitler particles. How does Turkey's electoral system work? In July 2018, Turkey transitioned from a parliamentary system to a presidential one. In the new system, voters elect the president directly, and the role of prime minister has been abolished. A candidate needs more than half the presidential vote to win. However, if no one reached the 50% mark, the top two candidates will go head-to-head in a runoff vote 2 weeks later. Voters will also elect 600 members of the Grand National Assembly, as the Turkish parliament is known, through a system of... Well, it's not parliament anymore, right? Because there's no longer a prime minister. Their legislature is called the parliament. Isn't a parliament specifically for a prime minister and a congress is for a president? I thought parliament, like the term meant specifically that when it's the constituencies of the parliament that then go ahead and elect the prime minister. Just the name? Okay, whatever. Who are the candidates and what they're promising? He's been accused of cracking down on opposition groups, though government supporters said the moves were necessary following a 2016 coup attempt and the threat from terrorist groups. Fuck this guy. Okay, Kemal Kılıçdaroğlu. Deroglu. Main challenger. Defines himself as a Democrat and is known for anti-corruption rhetoric, but is accused by detractors of being too close to the West. This is the thing. Oh, man, dude. Turkey has to cut this shit out, okay? I'm really sorry. What the fuck is there to ally with other than the West? Why are these countries so obsessed with playing kingmaker between, like, the West and whatever else? Like, the West still deals with Saudi Arabia. What, are you that insistent on keeping close with Iran? The real problem is that countries like Turkey and people like Erdogan don't seem to understand that there should be consequences to doing this playing both sides bullshit. I know it makes them feel really powerful, but it doesn't actually benefit their people that much. Like this multipolarity stuff, it doesn't actually help them that much. It's just this obsession with playing both sides in instances where it doesn't actually help. They're not Yugoslavia. They're not like navigating an ultra difficult geopolitical situation. Like it's not like it's not like Erdogan is getting assassinated like attempts on both sides 24/7. They could just sit there and be an ally to the West. But no, things just keep getting worse and worse and worse. Orban is doing the same, and it's fucking us the ass. Yeah, and it's just interesting how moving away from the West seems to coincide with like authoritarianism, dictatorship, and purging minority groups. It's just so interesting how this like appeal towards multipolarity always seems to go hand in hand with like the country getting worse. Promises to return to a strong parliamentary system, solving the Kurdish issue. You don't say. Sending Syrian refugees back home. Oh man, we're doing lesser evilism today. Moving closer to the EU and the United States. Great. All right, we'll take a look at this Wikipedia page. He's pro-Kurdish? Let's find out. Kemal Kilik. Okay. Oh, God, his actual name has fucking curves over the letters. That's crazy. Political positions, freedom of speech. On January 16th, he was prosecuted for insulting Erdogan for making statements that implied the president is a dictator after Kilik Daroglu spoke out against the arrest of over 20 academics for peace who signed a petition condemning a military crackdown in the Kurdish-dominated southeast. What Kilik Daroglu said was, academics who expressed their opinions have been detained one by one on instructions given by a so-called dictator. Kilik, I'm just going to say Kilik. I'm sorry. I'm going to choke over this every time otherwise. Kilik criticized the European Court of Human Rights for rejecting a petition from a Turkish teacher who applied to the ECHR, claiming that he was wrongly dismissed from his position during the 2016 to 2017 Turkish purges. The ECHR said plaintiffs should apply to Turkey's State of Emergency Investigation Commission before applying to the court. Kilik said, "Don't you know what is going on in Turkey? Which commission are you talking about? People are dying in prisons. We waited 5 months just to appoint members." He said he would continue to support the Turkish drone industry. He vowed to establish the Organization of Peace and Cooperation in the Middle East with Iran, Iraq, Syria, and Turkey as its member states. Good luck with that. Azerbaijan supported Turkey's support to Azerbaijan and said the country's position is in line with international law. Uh-oh, guys. Azerbaijan is the bad guy here. Syria. Criticized the Turkish government's intervention in Syria's internal affairs. He has also explicitly supported the deportation of Syrian refugees from Turkey, citing economic strain on citizens and the alleged desire of humans to live in their region of birth. The alleged desire of humans to live in their region of birth. Yes, I'm sure all of the Syrian refugees who fled the civil war are, actually want to be in Syria. That's what they crave. That's what their body craves. They made a mistake by leaving. Kilik has approved of Erdogan's balanced handling of the Russia-Ukraine war. Great. And the Black Sea Grain Initiative, he promised to continue construction of the Akuyu nuclear power plant, which is being built by Russian contractors. Nice. I love lesser evilism. La 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 la. Where are his Kurdish takes? Yeah, that's a good question. Kurdish issue means rebuilding Kurdish areas like East Germany. He is pro-Kurdish. Okay. The Kurds and pro-Kurds party are backing Kilik Daroglu as well. Gotcha. So basically, by the looks of it, he's Erdogan, but with the rough edges sanded down. Well, if he is genuinely a Democrat, like if he's not an authoritarian, then he is a significant step forward because he lays the groundwork for the country to move away from the direction it's currently moving in. So that is meaningful. I'm surprised there's not more information here. Kilik Daroglu? That moment when your answer to the Jewish question is that Jews are cool? Yeah, coming up with the correct answer. We found the correct answer to the JQ. It's that they're pretty cool, actually. He's crazy about Cyprus. Oh, God. Is he? Wait, hold on. Oh, no. War with Greece? War with Greece? War with Greece? Hello? The Greek elections are coming up soon, too. Kemal Kılıçdaroğlu. Turkey's election gives Greece a migraine. Oh no. Oh no, 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 no. The Turkish election is right before the Greek election too, so maybe like the results of the Turkish election might actually affect the Greek election. After the Turks themselves, Greeks will be the closest observers of Sunday's Turkish election, and they have few illusions that everything's going to be rosy with the old foe across the Aegean Sea after the vote, no matter who wins. That's not to say Greeks won't be happy to see the back of President Recep Tayyip Erdogan, who has proved a bête noire. Cut it out, okay? I'm an American. Erdogan has not only engaged Greek jet fighters in dangerous brinkmanship over the Aegean Sea, but has hinted he could snatch a Greek island overnight and even threatened Athens with a missile. Love my NATO allies. Love my NATO allies. Love it. His decision in 2020 to reconvert Istanbul's Hagia Sophia, once Greek-speaking Constantinople's greatest church, from a museum back to a mosque, as it had been in the Ottoman times, delivered a particularly grave cultural wound to Greeks. Oh. It's Aegean? Aegean? See? Aegean? See? Say Aegean? Well, in English, Aegian would be Aegean. Aegean? Aegean, see? Aegean? Aegean? I don't care. I'm American. The dollar is still the global reserve currency. I can pronounce shit however I want. Thank you. Opposite leader Kemal Kılıçdaroğlu, a soft-spoken 74-year-old former bureaucrat, would certainly provide an easier diplomatic partner, but many note that he could well offer a change in style rather than substance. When it comes to the big regional tussles, marine boundaries, energy resources in the East Mediterranean, and Cyprus, Turkey's key strategic priorities are likely to remain inflexible. Greece's relations with Turkey have improved in recent months, which Erdogan striking a more emollient? The fuck does that mean? Having the quality of softening or smoothing the skin. Okay, fucker. Nectario stimuli. Where did you go to school, huh? I want to look at your face. I want to look you in the eye. You fucking kidding me? Emollient? You fucking kidding me? I see you in your $5 words. You think you're better than me? She probably does. I see you. I know words too. Ameliorate, discombobulate. Got her ass. Okay. Indeed, on the campaign trail, Erdogan has in recent days pledged to continue to annoy Greece with Turkey's lavish defense spending. When asked about the Turkish election, Greek Prime Minister God Almighty, Kyriakos Mitsubishi held out little prospect of wholesale change. I welcome the relative improvement in the climate following the devastating earthquakes in Turkey, but I have no illusions Turkish policy is not going to change overnight. Hold on. Does Turkey have nukes? I always forget this. Does Turkey have nukes? I know we had them have nukes in the Cold War, but haven't they de-armed? Do they have it? Oh, they have nukes. Wait, do they have them for use, or do they just have them for storage? A non-nuclear state that has nukes in it. Wait. Right? Yeah, we stage nuclear weapons there, but those are our weapons with our launch codes. They can't use ours. Okay. I'm pretty positive that Greece does not have nukes. Greece has not yet signed or ratified the Treaty on the Prohibition of Nuclear Weapons. Okay, they don't have nukes, but they also haven't signed the treaty that would keep them from having them. Okay, guys, Turkey and Greece are both non-nuclear nations. I say, let them have it. It's time. It's time. Bring the Mediterranean over. Thank you. All right. They long for combat. Right over here. Okay? No, then the Balkans might get ideas. Well, they're non-nuclear as well, so. They hunger for blood, all right? I say we let it get them out. Get it out of their system. Let's allow Greece and Turkey to find out who truly is the gayest nation. For millennia, these two bloodlines have fought. Who likes anal sex more? And now, finally, we will learn. Greece and Turkey have a literal ancient blood feud. Yes, they literally do. That it's in their blood. They hunger for combat, okay? You guys don't know because you've never been there, all right? But little Turkish and Greek children are constantly standing here at the shores of their respective eastern and western beaches, throwing rocks at each other. Just nonstop right now, just constantly tossing it back and forth. It doesn't even make it close to all the way over, but they're still doing it. Look, they even share a border right here. If Turkey invaded Greece, would trigger EU and NATO articles? Nah, it's fine. It's fine. It'll be fine. This is so fucked. Yeah, it's pretty stupid. I actually wonder what NATO would do. They can't actually, like, really fight each other. They're both in NATO. It would, at the very least, lead to Turkey being kicked out of NATO, but in all likelihood, they would probably get invaded. We would probably occupy them. How do NATO articles work if the conflict is between NATO countries? I feel like we would occupy them, right? If Turkey invaded, which isn't going to happen, by the way. But, like, they keep ramping stuff up, you know? I don't know. I think they both get kicked out. Even if Turkey invaded Greece, that doesn't seem fair. It happened before. Yeah, what happened last time? What was the what year was that? In 74, Turkish invasion of Cyprus. What did this lead to? Background of intercommunal violence between Greek and Turkish Cypriots. So Cyprus is an island that they split. It's like 50-50. I forget which one of these. Oh, it's this one right here. See, you can see the border right here. The border right here. This is the Turkish side of Cyprus, and this is the Greek side of Cyprus. And apparently the food on this island is really good. Kind of dangerous to go there right now, though, probably. I think it's always been dangerous to go there. About 150,000 people were expelled from the northern part of the island. Jesus. Yeah, Turkey just fucking invaded the island. Cyprus is its own country, not part of Greece, Vaush, you retard. Greek Cypriot population. It was, but not now, right? Greek Cypriots. Largest Greek ethno-linguistic community. Cyprus. Island country located in the eastern Mediterranean Sea. It tried to become a part of Greece. That's why they invaded. Oh, okay. Okay, thank you. So what, like, one half of Cyprus is Turkey, and the other half of Cyprus is, like, independent but kind of Greek, basically? Yeah. Okay. Got. Okay. Yeah. So it's independent on paper, but functionally, its largest ethnic group was Greek people. So it was basically like Greece, kind of, but not really. Earliest known activity on the island dates to around the 10th millennium BC. We're literally in like the cradle of civilization right here. Cyprus was settled by Mycenaean Greeks in two distinct waves in the second millennium in BC. Jesus. Man, stuff goes back a while here. Greek Cyprus functions 100% independently. No, no, no. I'm not saying that they're politically like a puppet state of Greece. I'm saying that if Greek Cypriots are like the predominant ethno-linguistic majority of the island of Cyprus and were back then as well, that would indicate like a very strong cultural or ethnic like tie that functionally, like if we were talking about like conflict between, I don't know, like the island of Samoa and some other country, it's like, okay, well, like, um even if it's like an American territory, that's not like descriptive of a lot of the ethnic history of the country. So if there was some pre-existing feud with another country nearby that also had an indigenous population that was beefing with, never mind. Okay, what happened here? In 1983, the Turkish Republic of Northern Cyprus declared independence, though Turkey is the only country that recognizes it. Okay, so it's like, yeah. So the Turkish Republic of Northern Cyprus is just Turkey. Gotcha, okay. If only they acknowledge it, then it's basically just them. This occupation is viewed as illegal under international law, amounting to illegal occupation of EU territory since Cyprus became a member. Okay, hold on. Ottoman and British rule. British rule lasted until 1960, then it was an independent island. Only lasted 3 years. Constitutional amendments blocked by Turkish Cypriot legislators. Within a week of violence flaring up, the Turkish army contingent had moved out of its barracks and seized the most strategic position on the island across the Nicosia to Kyrenia Road, the historic jugular vein of the island. They retained control of that road until 74, at which time it acted as a crucial link in Turkey's military invasion. From 1963 up to the point of Turkish invasion, Greek Cypriots who wanted to use that road could only do so if accompanied by a UN convoy. Holy shit. 700 Turkish residents of northern Nicosia, among them women and children, were taken hostage. The violence resulted in the death of 364 Turkish and 174 Greek Cypriots, destruction of 109 Turkish Cypriot or mixed villages, and displacement of 25 to 30,000 Turkish Cypriots. The British Daily Telegraph later called it an anti-Turkish pogrom. Okay, so the violence was initially against the Turkish. Two Turkish Cypriots were killed by the Greek Cypriot police. Turkey, the UK, and Greece wanted to send a NATO force to the island under the command of General Peter Young. Okay. So there was unrest, the murder by police of two Turkish Cypriots. Then the Turkish army moved and secured a central position on the island. So Greek Cypriots could only move around using a UN convoy through that area. Then a bunch of Turkish residents were taken hostage, and the violence led to a death of a bunch of Turkish and some Greek Cypriots, and the destruction of a bunch of Turkish villages. So right now, Greece is 100% in the wrong. Yes, Greece was not a democracy at this time. You people keep spamming that. Thank you. Therefore, Turkey once again put forward the idea of partition, the intensified fighting, especially around areas under the control of the Turk. Man, I can't believe that we have once again done a brief historical review, which can be summarized as the British fucked up and did a bad job partitioning territory between competing ethnic groups. Every fucking time, dude. Literally, every fucking time. Like, without exception, everywhere. Why does the UK even do that, Lamau? I think it's fun for them? I don't know. Turkey was on the brink of invading when U.S. President Johnson said in his famous letter of 5th of June 1964, the U.S. was against a possible invasion and stated he would not come to the aid of Turkey if an invasion of Cyprus led to conflict with the Soviet Union. Ooh. Why would it lead to conflict with the Soviet Union? Because the Soviet Union had backings with Turkey at the time? Were they playing kingmakers back then too? No, no, no. They were puppets of ours. Turkey was like a puppet of the U.S. government during the Cold War. We put nukes there with Greece. They had a relation with Greece. Yeah, yeah, because what wasn't Greece one of two countries in Europe that quote unquote like kind of fell to communism? Like we did the Marshall Plan and we like fucking knocked off a fuck ton of people all across Europe to try to keep them from joining the Soviet Union, but Greece ended up like falling into itself. And like there was legitimate unrest within Greece, and for a while it was like the Soviet Union felt like they might be able to get root in there. Or am I misremembering that? There was a civil war. Oh god, there's so much history, man. Yeah, Greece nearly went communist, but then we backed fascists or something. Well, that's how all the Cold War works. They nearly went communist, and then we backed fascists. Um, yeah, we backed the fascists because there was okay, gotcha, gotcha. Okay, yeah. Um, the crisis resulted in the end of the Turkish Cypriot involvement in the administration. They're claiming that it had lost its legitimacy. The nature of this event is still controversial. Clearly, in some areas, Greek Cypriots prevented Turkish Cypriots from traveling and entering government buildings, while some Turkish Cypriots willingly refused to withdraw due to the calls for the Turkish Cypriot administration. They started living in enclaves. Their movement became more restricted by Greek forces. Fighting broke out again in 67 as the Turkish Cypriots pushed for more freedom of movement. Once again, the situation was not settled until Turkey threatened to invade on the basis that it would be protecting the Turkish population from ethnic cleansing. Wow. History really is a fucking loop, isn't it? Jesus. Okay, so the history of this conflict is one in which the Turkish are basically just in the right. The Turkish were an ethnic minority on Cyprus, and the Greek majority, it seemed, if not directly engaged in an ethnic cleansing, certainly like leaned in that direction. And the Turkish prevented it by saying, like, if you do that, we will just fucking like fight you. Okay. And then doesn't give right to invade, though? Well, it really depends. Greek military coup. Okay, some Greeks did some gay shit. Some gay shit. First Turkish invasion. Okay, hold on. Turkey invaded Cyprus on Saturday, July 20th, 1974. Heavily armed troops landed shortly before dawn at Kyrenia on the northern coast, meeting resistance from Greek and Greek Cypriot forces. Ankara said it was invoking its right under the Treaty of Guarantee to protect the Turkish Cypriots and guarantee the independence of Cyprus. By the time the UN Security Council was able to obtain a ceasefire on the 22nd of July, the Turkish forces were in command of a narrow path between Kyrenia and Nicosia, 3% of the territory of Cyprus, which they succeeded in widening, violating the ceasefire demanded in Resolution 353, which was adopted on the 20th of July. Okay. The 10,000 inhabitants of the Turkish Cypriot enclave of Limassol surrendered to the Cypriot National Guard. Following this, according to Turkish Cypriot and Greek Cypriot eyewitness accounts, the Turkish Cypriot quarter was burned, women raped, and children shot. Guys, I don't know. I'm becoming an Erdoganist reading about history right now. I don't know. I don't know much about this conflict. Turkey seems to be completely correct in arguing that there was an ongoing ethnic cleansing of the Turkish Cypriots. 1,300 Turkish Cypriots were confined to a prison camp afterwards. The enclave of Famagusta was subjected to shelling, and the Turkish Cypriot town of Lefka was occupied by Greek Cypriot troops. According to the Red Cross, the prisoners of war taken at this stage and before the second invasion include 385 Greek Cypriots, 63 others, and 3,268 Turkish Cypriots. Sheesh. Then there was the collapse of the Greek military junta, mainly because of the events in Cyprus. Oh, so Turkey democratized Greece? The invasion of Cyprus led to the collapse of the junta, which led to the democratization of Greece. Holy shit. But I'm gonna start wolf posting in YouTube comment sections. I'm a fucking Turkish national now. Oh my god. I mean, not intentionally. Intentionally. Oh my god. This was 50 years ago? Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. I'm looking at the date right here. We're reading an article, guys. Come on. Learning stuff today. First round of peace talks took place in Geneva. Issued a declaration that the Turkish occupation zones should not be extended, that the enclave should be immediately evacuated by the Greeks, and the further conference should be held at Geneva within the two Cypriot communities. Okay. By the time the Second Geneva Conference met on the 14th of August, international sympathy was swinging back towards Greece now that it had restored democracy. At the second round of peace talks, Turkey demanded the Cypriot government accept its plan for a federal state and population transfer. Okay. All right. When the Cypriot acting president Clarides, that is such a Greek name, asked for 36 to 48 hours in order to consult with Athens and the Greek Cypriot leaders, the Turkish foreign minister denied Clarides that opportunity on the ground that Makarios and others would use it to play for more time. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Things are turning around. A request for 36 to 48 hours to confer with Greek leaders is not an unreasonable request after asking for a federal state and population transfer. Uh-oh. Turkish Foreign Minister Turan Güneş? Probably not. Had said to the Prime Minister, when I say let's go on vacation, it will mean our armed forces are ready to go into action. Even if the telephone lines are tapped, that would rouse no suspicion. Okay. An hour and a half after the conference broke up, Turan called ICFIT and said the code phrase. On the 14th of August, Turkey launched its second peace operation, which eventually resulted in the Turkish occupation of 37% of Cyprus. Whew. In the process, many Greek Cypriots became refugees. The number of refugees is estimated to be between 140,000 and 160,000. The ceasefire line from 1974 separates the two communities on the island and is commonly referred to as the Green Line. After the conflict, Cypriot representatives and the UN consented to the transfer of the remainder of the 51,000 Turkish Cypriots that had not left their homes in the south to settle in the north, if they wished to do so. The UN has challenged the legality of Turkey's actions because Article 4 of the Treaty of Guarantee gives the right to guarantors to take action with the sole aim of reestablishing the state of affairs. The aftermath of Turkey's invasion, however, did not safeguard the republic's sovereignty and territorial integrity, but had the opposite effect. Huh. Okay, so I guess that's the long and short of it. Turkey was in the right up until the second invasion, at which point they were like, yo, you know, it'd be really funny. And then they did the biggest bad of all. A lot of bad things happened against Turkish Cypriots, and then they decided to then do the biggest bad against Greek Cypriots. History sure is complicated. George Santos indicted? In what? We'll take a look in a second. Okay. Nothing like this is going to happen again, right? I don't think there's any world in which, like, there's some kind of resumption of military conflict on the island of Cyprus. That would be insane. Why would you say that? To jinx it? I don't know. If that happened, I feel like we would have to get involved. It's not the Cold War anymore. We won't go to war with Greece, lol. No, we would not go to war with Greece because Greece doesn't seem to be doing much wrong at the moment. Turkey is way more expansionist and militaristic than Greece is right now. Article 8 says all members agree not to attack each other, and if they do, it would break the treaty, so it would probably mean if Turkey attacks, they get kicked out. If Turkey got kicked out of NATO, that would, like, fuck them up. Like, Turkey gets away with a lot of shit because they're in NATO. Turkey should be kicked out of NATO for other reasons. I agree. Turkey deserves to be kicked out of NATO for sure. Yeah, Cyprus isn't a part of NATO, but it is a part of the EU. Well, wait. Fuck. That's true, technically, right? If Turkey invaded the rest of Cyprus, that's just Cyprus. That's an EU country, not a NATO country. It might be, like, ethnically Greek, and it might be an attack on Greece, like, pretty directly. But legally, it wouldn't be an attack on a NATO country. I wonder if Turkey would, like, go for broke and fucking. But that'd still be insane. They would never get in the EU. Is Cyprus in the EU? Yeah, but, like, doesn't Turkey wants to be in the EU. Like, they've been trying to bid for this for ages. I hate this brinksmanship, man. It's so cringe. Erdogan doesn't want to be in the EU, though? Well, hold on. Hasn't he made claims to, but he's, like, backed off it? Doesn't he flip-flop on this? And it's not like the Turkish economy is doing particularly well. Erdogan sees right moment for EU membership relaunch? Huh. Erdogan has said that Turkey does not need the EU because he just blackmails them instead. With what? What can he blackmail them with? And follow-up question, if they were kicked out of NATO, could they blackmail them with anything? EU common defense like NATO? Yeah, but, like, Europeans are pussies. Would they really do it? Syrian refugees? Access to the Black Sea? Hmm. I'm pretty sure if Turkey did anything that got them ousted from NATO slash, like definitely the EU and then blocked off access to the Black Sea, I'm pretty sure we literally would occupy them. Yeah, that feels like something that would have to be responded to with some pretty, like, aggressive behavior. I don't know. Um, there are millions of Syrian refugees that Turkey could just send north into the EU. Yeah, they could. But isn't the guy who's coming in after Erdogan saying that he wants to send them back to Syria anyway? Hmm. Difficult situation. I just hate Turkey. Vaush, there is no war scenario between Greece and Turkey. It's being kept up. It's being brought to keep up the arms race and mandatory conscription. Okay, I used to think that, but I don't know how much I do anymore. After the invasion, so everyone said that about Putin. Everyone said, like, bro, he's not actually going to do an invasion. Like, Putin is an intelligent world leader who strategically balances, like, Western and Eastern interests in a way to keep Russia relevant, like, despite, like, like, Western ostracization, blah, blah. And then he did the fucking invasion, and now his country is, like, crippled and bleeding. So I don't know how much I trust rational leadership, especially from authoritarians. Who the fuck knows what Erdogan or Orban are going to do in the future, you know? Let's just keep them away from the nukes and hope for the best, I suppose. Turkey has more to lose. Yeah, but that's not stopped them in the past. They've still done stupid shit. I don't know. Especially if he feels threatened. Biden might sell Greece F-35s. I don't think there's so it's not going to happen, direct warfare, but if Turkey wanted to invade Greece, Greece can't do anything about it. Turkey's military budget is insane. Turkey military spending. Ranked there. So it's all kept in perspective. List of countries by military expenditures. Actually, wait, they're not as high up as I thought they were. The US, China, Russia, India, Saudi Arabia, the UK, Germany, France, South Korea, Japan, Ukraine, makes sense. Italy. Wait, Turkey's not even on here. Why do I remember Turkey having like a colossal military? Am I thinking of Egypt? But Egypt is also not here. Wait, are we going by like percent? Oh, is this by percent of GDP? No, it's not. It's by just spending. What about by GDP then? No. You're thinking of their military industrial complex. They sell more weapons than they use. Okay, so their real strength isn't in the size of their military, it's in their war machine. It's in the industrial capacity for warfare. Yep. Okay, gotcha. They're a massive manufacturer. Well, yeah, I know. They make drones. They're using their drones in Ukraine quite a bit. Bayraktar, dum, ba, da, da, da. Bayraktar, din, din. You've heard the song? Kemal is one of the only members who openly supports LGBT rights. Well, that's nice. The Turkish Armed Forces is the second largest standing military force in NATO after the United States Armed Forces and 13th in the world. What, are these all like slaves? How the fuck are they so cheap? What? How do they have a military that large with that small of a budget? Yeah, but that doesn't denote quality. Nah. Well, authoritarian governments tend not to have very good militaries, it seems. Conscription? How many people do they conscript? All male citizens from 21 years of age. How long is a term? 6 months? That's it? Okay. I guess it could be worse. 6 months for all males, regardless of educational degree. Huh. Interesting. Sorry if this has all seemed kind of rambly and insubstantial. This is actually very important stuff that we're learning, okay? Look up the Turkish lira, that's why. Turkish inflation. How bad is it right now? Pretty bad, right? 85.5% last year. Jesus fuck. Turkish inflation slows to 44% ahead of landmark election. Christ alive. Ooh. That doesn't look good. I don't like looking at that at all. I've seen worse. Yeah, like in Zimbabwe, sure, but it's still really bad. On a monthly basis, communication prices rose 6%, restaurant and hotel 4.2, non-alcoholic beverage prices 4%. Fuck, that's bad. Communication, you mean like phone bills or something? Monthly. And it's cumulative too. So like by the end of the year, 6% times 12 cumulative, like it like multiplied by 1.06 every time. That's like nearly double over the course of 1 year. Jesus Christ. Yeah, internet too. Why was their economy that vulnerable to inflation? Inflation is so fucking complicated. I don't even like to touch on this stuff. Inflation is such a complicated subject. I mean, we could look into it, but like, yeah. The inflation you found is just the official numbers. Real ones are about 250%. Okay, what? What about Greek? Okay, Greece inflation. Performance over the last 61 years compared with the USA. Well, that's pretty bad compared to us, but okay, wait. Oh, okay. Right now, it looks like Greece's inflation rate is actually pretty low at 4.6% in the most recent report. That's pretty good. It's in the EU. Yeah. Being in the EU probably gives them a lot of economic stability. It's not. Well, this is certainly better than what's going on with Turkey, I'm sure. That's not the right picture. Erdogan's support is also fucked because of the earthquake. His response was so bad, citizens have publicly called for his death. Yeah, that made him look pretty bad. One of the reasons the earthquake was so devastating was because corruption in construction is rampant all across Turkey, where homes are built not to code. And it's kind of like a downstream effect of the corruption of Erdogan's government, where, corruption is kind of like a holistic thing. If you have a corrupt government, you're more likely to have corrupt officials who do corrupt inspections, who allow corruption in this, that, the other. Um, a lot of people died. This is the Cyprus buffer zone because no one can go there. It's like the demilitarized zone. Yeah. Basically, Greece owns the islands around the Aegean Sea, and it's according to the law of the sea, they can extend their EEZ to surround Turkey, so Turkey will declare if they do, which they can legally do. I don't think Greece would do that. Well, let me see. From Bloomberg, too? Whatever. Also, the 2016 Turkish coup was staged. I remember that. I remember hearing that, I mean. No photos allowed. Well, they always say that, Emperor Tancred. Hello. Fashionable hosiery. All right. American cultural hegemony reigns supreme. Even in the demilitarized zone on the island of Cyprus, you can find Coca-Cola. Hmm. All right, I think we've learned enough. Just kidding. The Greek elections are coming up. We're fitting this all together. After all, aren't Turkey and Greece basically the same country anyway? Two enemies bound by blood? Put it all together. No, the next image is very interesting. Oh, you keep doing that to me. What do you mean? Oh. An illuminated flag of the self-declared Turkish Republic of Northern Cyprus, which is recognized only by Turkey, overlooks Nicosia on March the 12th, 2014. Damn. Well, glad they're having fun, maybe. You didn't even touch the election? Well, I did at the very beginning, but we're learning stuff, okay? I support whoever isn't Erdogan, all right? That's my support. Go vote for not Erdogan. Um, okay. The 21st of May, 2023, parliamentary elections. Snap elections, end of the term. Okay. What's the big upset here? What are the chances, guys? What's going to happen? Party or alliance? ND. Original slogan. Whatever the fuck this is. English translation. Firmly daring forward. Okay. Me too. Opinion polling. Is there anything significant that's likely to happen? Likely to happen? Any like big upset? Any big change potentially? This is nice. Greek's top court bans far right party from May election. Nice. The first party to be disqualified since the restoration of democracy in 1974. Yeah, I like this logo. It's very subtle. Check Greek freedom of press. If you have an article to link, link it. I just want to see what is likely to happen here. Let's see. One voted in, second last legislative went to proportional representation. In January 2020, soon after returning to power, New Democracy, which has always been a proponent of majority bonuses since 74, passed new electoral law to reinstate the bonus. Compulsory voting will be enforced for the election, so everyone's going out there. Who do we want to win, lads? Who's the good guys in Greece? I don't know much about the Greek elections. Who's the good guy? Why am I stammering so much? I think it's because I'm hungry. I'm very hungry. Syriza? So Alexis Tsipras. This one. The coalition of the radical left. Well, that sounds nice. There's practically no difference between ND, Syriza, and Kinal. They're all USA puppets. Really? I mean, probably not. You're probably wrong, but, you know. ND are neolibs, but more stable than Syriza, who almost got Greece removed from the EU. What? Dude, what is it with lefties in foreign policy, man? He spoke in opposition to the allegedly Merkel-dominated neoliberal political course in Europe. Tsipras declared a substantial change for a better future for all Europeans is visible within 10 years. He addressed those who lost out in the fallout of the financial crises from 2008 to 2014, which produced unexpectedly high jobless rates in most of the EU. The speech was given in English to a German audience and intended to be listened to throughout Europe. Although the GUE NGL wanted Greece, winning 6 of the 21 seats, finished 5th in Europe. First of all, Prime Minister. Was he the Prime Minister? I really do know nothing about Greek politics. I guess so. Well, how'd that go? Probably not that great. Because it was during the Syrian refugee crisis. That fucking sucks. Right next to Turkey, too. Official state visit at the press conference. He announced a trip to Moscow in a bid to secure Russian support. I don't think that in and of itself is a bad thing. He presented a new Greek proposal which included raising the retirement age gradually to 67 and curbing early retirement. That doesn't sound like a lefty thing to do. Then again, the economy in Greece is fucked, so. It also offered to reform the value-added tax system to set the main rate at 23%. Trading Greek as well. He wanted to reject the bailout from the International Monetary Fund. Came to an agreement with lenders. Huh. Interesting. I'm surprised there's not more here on the Syrian refugee crisis. He introduced the cohabitation agreement for same-sex couples. The bill was approved by the Greek parliament. In 2018, a law allowed adoption for same-sex couples. Well, that's nice, I suppose. A bunch of austerity shit because the Greek economy is fucked. Oh, God, the economy. Met with Donald Trump. Hmm. Damn, Syriza is an L on Ukraine. What has he said on Ukraine? Nothing mentioned here. Greek Tsipras blasts PM Ukraine policy, favors diplomacy. Hmm? Let me see the fucking article. The left-wing leader calls for the creation in Greece of a modern peace movement in terms of condemning the Russian invasion and criticizing the attitude of the West. Yep, okay, so this guy sucks Russia's cock too. Man, could we get like some populist left leadership that isn't just like pro-Russian? Every time, man. He's probably still better than the neolibs, right? And this is the leader of the ND? Man, look at these multisyllabic names. Jesus Christ. That's better than Chomsky? Well, yeah, pretty much anyone would do better than Chomsky in terms of foreign policy at this point. You can't get American-style leftism in Eastern Europe, not exactly the same way. I'm just trying to get non-retarded leftism, personally. And by the way, there are plenty of American leftists who suck Putin's cock, too. The least Putin cock-sucking leftists seem to be from countries that are like former Soviet or border former Soviet countries, because they're aware of the fact that Russia isn't some kind of like multipolar savior of the international proletariat, a delusion that for some reason, some people in the Western left seem to be convinced of. I have no idea why. Actually, I do. I've talked about it extensively. But, you know. In Syria, he's way more based. Well, that's nice, at least. Under Mitsotakis, Greece has declined in press freedom. Violence against journalists has also increased, resulting in a deterioration of the Greek freedom of the press. Whoa! Okay, yeah, I guess we're supporting the dumb fuck lefties over this guy. Jesus Christ. What about Kinal? What are these guys about? This guy has a beard. That's cool. Total joke. Hmm. Is there a single good Balkan president? Jesus fuck. Whoa, are you insinuating that Greece is in the Balkans? Whoa, hold on. You'll have to fight at least 10 angry men in order to make that claim. I think that Turkey is in the Balkans too. Okay? If Greece is in the Balkans, then Turkey has to be it as well. Am I in the Balkans? Are you anywhere in between Spain and Iran? If so, yes. As a Turk, I'd rather not be in the Balkans, thank you. Well, you're already in Turkey, so it's not like you have that much farther to fall. Is Israel Balkan? Well, I don't know. Is Israel obsessed with constantly enacting a bunch of like ultra ethnically preferential microstate or micro ethnostate creations? You know, are they constantly embitteredly infighting with other ethnic groups on a spot of land that is more or less the size of your average American suburban lawn? Curious. Real, real. Many such cases. Okay, my final prescription to finally get over this segment is vote for the guy who isn't Erdogan if you're in Turkey, and if you're in Greece, uh, good luck. I don't know. I guess Syriza, I guess, is probably the best. Good luck. Good luck, you guys. I'm rooting for you.